everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom. Where we put the real in reality or whatever.
Period, mother. Ring the alarm. You've been doing this too long, and I'll be damned if I see another chick on his arm. She gonna be.
Why don't you bring the alarm?
Ooh.
I'll let you go. Whoop in the box on the road. I'll let you go. You gonna take everything I own. I'll let you go.
Shout out to motherfucking the Jungle Rat Miles, okay?
The Jungle Rat, the Jungle Daddy, the Jungle King, my bisexual, biracial, bipolar, bimamuable, tricennial, all of that.
Period. Bottoms on top.
Bottoms on top. Shout out to Miles. I don't know if I'm so elated right now. I can't tell if I'm excited because Miles won. I'm excited because Kaylin lost. I don't know. I don't know what all of the above. I'm here, and I'm excited, and we won, and the Jungle Rats rock.
No, girl. Y'all. I mean, thank y'all for schooling me on the Survivor Australia.
Oh, damn. I forgot about that.
I was wrong, and I am happy to be wrong now because I had tweeted about knowing. I don't know why the girls were shocked because apparently Kaylin Ben had stands. I wasn't the only Kaylin supporter out here. I didn't realize that they were in the woodworks, but they all came out like, I don't understand how he lost. You don't understand why he lost. I only thought that he was going to win because of a bitter jury. That was the only way. I thought that he was going to take AJ and win. I never thought he was going to win next to Miles. I just thought he was going to be able to take AJ. But the fact that Miles literally convinced them to take him when he also played a good-ass game, like his best bet was to go with AJ because I really think a bitter jury could have fucked him up just a little bit. But, child, he just in the clouds. I don't understand why anyone is shocked. Girl, that final, them jury answers, terrible. I will say, I didn't think his speech was terrible. Like I do feel like he started strong with that speech. I think he articulated the somewhat game that he did have, which was I think mainly social. When he got into them answers, I think this man think he is George, Shawnee, Ferris, Kirby. He think he dominated this game. He thought he was Miles and AJ. He literally thought he was a combination of Miles and AJ. They asked him, it was like two kind of questions about what did you do wrong or what would you change? I wouldn't change anything. I didn't. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't change a thing.
He was like, sorry, Logan, I don't got nothing for you. I don't think I did anything wrong.
Yeah, Michael asked me a new question. Like he was so sure of himself. And I will say, like, I was still, impressed in a way. I felt like he did articulate what he thought was going on or what he felt was going on well, but I don't know.
That just wasn't what's going on. It just wasn't what it was. Because the thing, like the stuff that and I believe that he took credit for it in his mind because he would go up to them and say, let's do this, and that would eventually happen. However, like for example, the Karen vote, I remember watching, I was like, why are they giving Kaylin this credit for wanting to take out Karen when that has been established by AJ pre-merge? So I think I can see how in his head, well, I told him to do this and it happened, but that's not what happened, baby. That's not what happened. They were already planning these things. Oh, I can't hear you.
It was awkward to watch, but a part of me was like, well, I could see the jury actually being receptive to this, but I think it was the questions, like you said. I think the questions, they was like, okay, you're losing me. Because at first, after his speech, they were gagging. They were like, oh!
Right.
But then, as they got into the questions, they were not, it wasn't eating for them, no shade. It was not eating. Shout out to Zay. Zay says Miles has that Taylor hell karma. Every tongue against him fell
real bad. Because he was getting that Jungle Rat allegations early, bitch. It was back on the Brain Tribe. They was trying to eat him up. Who coined that with him? Was it that older man or was it?
It wasn't it? Kent, I think is his name.
Kent. Yeah. Oh yeah, because he had that weird obsession with him. Yeah, that was random.
Yeah, he really flipped it on him, though.
It was a terrible, and I thought that Miles did really, really well. He also gave them what they wanted, and I think that honestly, when I think about
it was Max. It was Max. You remember Max?
Max.
That's
Max. Kent didn't start. Kent.
He didn't call him a jungle rat. He was just weird. I think Max called him the jungle rat.
So Kim just wanted that Jungle booty.
Yeah,
But Max was
I think Max wanted it too, actually.
I mean, hey, they knew
And
he
so
was a
did I.
winner. They knew he was
Yeah.
a winner. They saw the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
That's what happened with Taylor. You feel, the energy when it's around you. You know what a winner is when it's around you, and then you get obsessed. You get obsessed, and that's what happened. They knew what it was. Shout out to Theodore, honey.
Make it rain. Make it rain.
Another POC wins Australia. 3 POC men,
Oh.
5 women. Damn.
Oh, I thought a bunch of white people had won.
Me too.
What are
Really?
what are the backgrounds?
The first winner that I saw was a woman. The second winner was Jericho, and he was, what is Jericho, y'all? He feels like he's like the Islander. He feels Islandery, but I don't know what Jericho is. And he won. So 2 of the winners I saw were minority groups or were like marginalized groups, and then Miles. So that's 3 right there.
5 women is insane. That is really, really good. That's really good.
Crazy. I did not expect that the woman who won the first season to win, and she ate that up. Ferris. What is Ferris? Middle Eastern. Ferris.
Also, it's Jericho, Ferris, and now Miles.
Yeah, Jericho, Ferris, and Miles are the 3 POC men. 5 women is still crazy because hasn't there only been like 12 seasons? It's been 12 seasons. Damn, honey.
Period. The women be eating it up. I know there was also a few older winners as well, and those
really
or mid seasons. I can't recall. I just heard about it, so I could be wrong, but I swear I heard about it being like older winners in Survivor Australia. But this was a really good season. I will say the chat, anyone who is happy that we covered this season, y'all need to give Theodore a big ass thank you. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because without Theodore, this would have never popped off. Okay. He told us where to watch, how to watch, when it come on. Amen. Bitch, we worked out a whole schedule because of Theodore. So y'all need to thank him. Amen. He ate that up. And because this was a really great season. Like, I'm so happy we added this to the roster. We will be back yearly to cover her. We will be back in what?
June, July.
To cover Miss AU versus the world. Okay, this is very much where the Survivor T is at. So we're going to continue to be here. Okay, we're here. And I really like this. I like this season so much. I wish that we started last season because it would have been like 2 nasty ones in a row. Now I have to pray that they keep going because y'all keep saying it's some bad ones. It's some bad ones. I don't want to cover no bad one. However, in general, though, this was really cute. Like, in 9 weeks, like, we're here. Like, I have been tired with shorter shows. Yep. And then this isn't even one of our longer shows. Like, we have covered shit that lasted months, okay? And I am pleasantly, still comforted. So, yeah, we're here with Survivor Australia. This is really, really good.
I had saw a tweet, and the tweet was a fan of Survivor Australia, and they said this was a good season, but this was one of their lower seasons on their ranking. So, chat, if you have seen Survivor Australia, where would you kind of rank this season compared to the other ones? Because they were like, this is like the 6th best season for them. There's been some hitters, they said. So I'm interested in like those heavy hitter seasons, probably like George and Shoney season, of course, Titans versus Rebels, stuff like that. But it's like they're saying this is like a middle.
Rebels, and I thought it was better. Titans versus Rebels was way better than this. I feel like as far as personality.
Yeah, they said this is 5 out of 10. This is bottom 5. Wow. You know what's crazy? This is good. This was a good season.
So let's think. So do y'all think it's good but just low because better seasons are above it, or do you think it's a terrible season? Like, is it low because of circumstance, or is it low because you actually just don't?
There's so many good seasons. Like, are there that many good seasons above it? Child. Yeah, because they keep saying it's
here. Okay, that's the thing. I feel like as someone who's only seen 2 seasons, I'm like really impressed by this. So I'm like, ooh.
It could give. That's very interesting. Ooh. Okay. I feel like it's kind of like, you know how we watch Drag Race? We watch like 11 and 14 first.
Yeah.
And like in hindsight, it's like, oh, those are kind of mid. I feel like it's given that. Like in hindsight, when we go back and see some other ones, we're going to be like, ooh, okay. Because this was good to me. I had a great time. I had a good time. But yeah. Okay, period.
I'm excited. I'm gonna definitely get into it. Same with like Survivor US. There's gonna be at some point where I do like a really big binge and get into all of it. So I'm just happy to be on this ride because I've always heard so much about it, and I can confirm she's eating up Survivor US currently. This Survivor season 48, she was doing good, really great actually, but then they took out the person as to why it was doing great. So I don't expect Survivor 48 to give much anymore. So I am very disappointed that we're going to be done with Survivor Australia because, girl, we're going to be watching people on the island from now on.
Child. Let's get into Zara ass, actually. I'm excited for that.
Zara, y'all, 23 was so fucking funny to me. It was so funny to me
Girl.
because what is going on in Zara's brain? I think she was dead serious
Girl.
when she said she had dementia because she must have forgot. She must have forgot. Acacia forgot, in fact, because she is on this episode like, oh, they're all just voting me. No shit. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? And it's the fact that she is basically begging Miles to be on her side after she just threw him under the bus for basically no reason at all. He wanted AJ out, the person who basically was spearheading not voting with you this round. And it's like, well, I just saved you and you don't care. Yeah.
Girl.
Dumb. Just dumb. Now, the girls were saying that Kate would have beat her too, but shit, at least lose to a bad bitch.
At least lose to a baddie. At least give yourself a chance. Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. She had the opportunity. First of all, you know what got me this episode? They come back from the tribal council and she's like, just to explain to y'all exactly what happened last night. You guys, I knew exactly what everybody was. Because Miles, who are you voting for? And Miles was like, I was voting for AJ. And she's like, and AJ, you were voting for. Yeah, exactly. So
I knew where all the votes were going.
And I knew exactly where all of the votes were. And I chose to vote out Kate.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Why was she so happy? She was so proud of that. Like, I did that.
Man,
it was me. It was me. Actually, it was me. Kate, it was me. Girl, it would have been more impressive. You took out Nash and he went home second. Like, girl,
ma'am,
you're not doing anything. You're not gagging any live.
Nothing. It was so embarrassing. And you know what's crazy? Like, we could go through the episode, but if we do, it's just gonna be us dragging Zara the whole time. Every conversation,
I'm excited.
Every conversation is literally Zara acting a fool. It's crazy because we start off with that, right? And then we get this crazy conversation with AJ. Between AJ and Zara, I don't know. I see why they was best friends. I see why they were close because they're both crazy.
That's the thing. Shout out to Ryder making it rain in the chat. Zara said in exit interview she was taking AJ to the end if Miles lost at Immunity at 4. Zara is the.
They were best friends because they were best friends.
Zara is the lose-lose. Good God, Zara. Where the fuck was she at? I thought like Zara, and then y'all see on Twitter she's trying to reheat the Coven nachos. No, mama. No,
I saw the post.
That ship has sailed, Zara. Stand up for what you did here because this is insane. This in game for Zara, fucking terrible. Like, what is she doing? What was she out there doing? And what kills me and was so hilarious is how shook she was. How she was shocked that this is happening to her. Like,
what?
The writing was literally on the wall.
What? Oh my God.
But this is why I say, I had told Pharaoh this. Miles was truly the only brain of the season. Like, in general. He was the smartest person this season. And I think AJ is definitely a contender for that. But what I feel like AJ lacked, and what we saw Kaylin even lack in those final speeches, was that the emotional intelligence. It's not there. Like, they don't have it at all. And I feel like what we really saw Miles have in the final speeches was that he was able to become, he came off as endearing, not condescending. Like, you wanted to root for him. And I feel like that is what everyone, either lacks either in the intelligence or the emotional category. And I feel like Miles had both.
Yeah, that's very true. Because even like, I feel like they don't understand. What you need to understand in these games is how to put yourself in other people's perspective of how they see you, how they're viewing you, how they're viewing each other, how they're viewing the rest of the world, the rest of the game, da 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 da. And I feel like even with Miles's moves, I felt like Miles considered that, because when he went to Zara about voting out AJ, he's coming to her in a way of, this is better for both of our games, so you would do this. He didn't come to Kaylin with it because, of course, Kaylin wouldn't do it. And I feel like what we saw with AJ in the way he played the game and the way he spoke, he acted as if everyone's best interest was his best interest. And then when they wouldn't do it, he would be like, oh, they're bad players. They're stupid players. Da, 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 da. And it's like, you're incapable of putting yourself in someone else's shoes, which is why you lost. Literally why you lost. And that's the problem. And then we get this moment in the episode where he sits down with Miles and he wants to belittle him. He loves to do this. I don't know what's wrong with him about
it's so annoying.
But he loves to make sure that everybody around him know that he's better than them. So he sits Miles down. He's like, yeah, I don't know why you did that anyways. I mean, you could have just rolled with me. You could have rolled with me, but you didn't want to ride with me. So you're going home. You're actually losing. You're never going to win.
He wins the game. That's why, like, is there any confirmation that if AJ went with Kaylin that he would have won, or that AJ could have beat Miles? I'm very curious because his mindset was that as long as he's in final 2, he's winning the game. Like, is there any jury answers that would provide that information? Because I really hope that's not the case. Like, I would have loved if AJ made final 2 and lost. I would have loved that, because like even that moment in the final tribal when he caught himself calling them out about how fake their game was. I'm like, I can't even. Like, it's funny because you clocked Kaylin. I didn't like that he tried to clock Miles, but in general, it's like, AJ, you have been the most delusional person this entire season. Yes, the moves have paid off. Yes, you've been the most active. I would definitely call him objectively the best. No, Miles is no. The second best player of the season. But like, you're not like this like icon god of social strategy. Like, let's calm down. Let's calm down. You was dealing with a bunch of dummies on the low.
Yeah, because in this cast,
and
he didn't have any
the smartest one.
Yeah, he only had one competitor, and it was Miles. It's like if he was in a cast with more heavy hitters, he would have lost. Sarah and Luke could have watched him from Survivor 2017. No shade. Like, he could have got watched by any.
Could have watched him.
Oh, easily. Like, he no shade. I don't think he would have
had his ass crying.
I was gonna say he wouldn't win any other season, but he didn't even win this season. You didn't even win this season. Like, I'm sorry.
But that's the thing. The way he's acting, he probably would never get taken to final 2. He would always come and play like this, which means he's never going to final 2.
Yeah, and that's
unless he can win his way there, but it seems like he's not able to do that. Like, I don't like someone who's like overly cocky. He reminds me of like Wes and Bananas from the challenge, if y'all know them. It's very like, yes, you're good. We get it. You don't have to throw it in my face. You don't have to like take this grand stand as if you're fucking like the best player here and they're not explaining their games right. Because best believe if AJ was in those final 2 chairs, he'd have been up there saying the dumbest thing. They would have been like, what was your mistake? And he would have been sounding just like Kaylin. Well, I didn't have any
mistakes. I played the perfect game. I guess it would have worked next to Kaylin. That's the thing. The chat saying next to Kaylin, he probably still would have got all the same votes.
Which I wish he would even lose to Kaylin, bro. Like, I want this to be a Paul situation. You need to lose. A Russell situation. Lose.
You need to lose.
Like, I would have loved to see that egg scrambled all over his face, bitch.
So after this, Zara goes and she talks to AJ. And they're discussing the fact that Miles could win immunity. And then because if Miles doesn't win immunity, he's going home. Period. But if Miles does win immunity, Zara's like, well, you know, I mean, of you and Kay, like, I'm closer to you. Like, we're best friends. We're really close. And AJ, and she was like, yeah, so we might have to pull the trigger on Kaylin. And he was like, oh, well, you know, let's not really even talk about that right now.
That's not happening.
That's nothing to really discuss at this moment. And Zara gets worried. Surprisingly, because it's crazy because it's like, how are you? It's only 4, and I know some people aren't great with like the math and the numbers, but it's only 4 people. When you're considering voting out Kate, did you not immediately consider what's going to happen next round? Like, what the fuck? If there's any scenario for you to go home, you shouldn't have did it. AJ should have went, because if AJ would have went, Kate is never voting out Zara over Kaylin. Period. If Miles isn't voting out Zara, period. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all. If I had to make sense of her logic, I would say that clearly she thought her relationship with AJ and Kaylin separately was going to be enough to get her probably to final 2, regardless if she's in final 3 with him, because she specifically did this move to kind of throw Miles under the bus and hopefully get him out next. Like, that was essentially the goal. But then he won immunity. You dummy. Which is very possible in the cast of 4. But also, I think that she thought still, even in that case, well, I mean, Kaylin likes me, and you know, Miles kind of needs me, and then AJ likes me, and then you know what I mean. It's like, I think that she thought she could work through her social connections, and they weren't that good.
Yeah, and I don't know what made her think they were good. And even if that did work, she's losing. Like, damn, you really just didn't want to win the game. Like, you just didn't want to win the game. I don't know.
I hope she don't think she was gonna win. I mean, I don't think there's any way she could beat anyone in this final 4. I mean, maybe Kaylin.
She probably wouldn't even beat Kate.
Deserve to be Kaylin.
She wouldn't have beat him. She wouldn't even beat Kate. She wouldn't have beat nobody. And that's the problem.
Nah, if she wouldn't even beat Kate, girl, she's not beating nobody. How you not beating Kate?
She not beating Kate. That's unfortunate. I heard Street said Kate had a good social game.
Oh no. Yeah, I didn't watch those Villa videos. That was next year, y'all. Next year we're gonna draft. Next year we're gonna watch the preseason videos.
Amen.
We're gonna watch the villa
Amen.
videos. Bitch, we're here. This was a test. Okay. Next year we're
Amen.
getting into all of it. Okay. Because we
Amen.
don't know all of that shit yet. But
Amen.
yeah, I heard that too. I'm curious as to how real that was. Regardless, she wasn't getting the phone too anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no shade. It's no shade.
No, it's shade. That's true.
It wasn't
Very
shady. It wasn't shade.
Well, I'm being shady. Oh,
but
okay,
I will say it's very possible that her edit just didn't show it because she was connected to Morgan, and then Morgan and the whole Ben shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she did not get to cast her vote. I'm so upset about that.
Oh, damn, I forgot about that. Yeah, Kate did have a lot of like, she had the more opportunity for active moves and stuff. So I'm like, maybe she did have relationships with people. At least with AJ, she did. I know that, but who knows how that would have went? We won't know because our voter out. God damn it.
Oh wait,
she should. No, actually should not.
Should not.
Right. Miles goes. He talks to Kaylin, and this is his chance to make sure Kaylin knows that he shouldn't take AJ to the final two. So he has this conversation. He's like, well, you know, first of all, clearly my loyalty is with you. I didn't vote you out. Zara just turned on me. So at the end of the day, I'm going to the end with you regardless. And, you know, I feel like going to the end with AJ isn't really going to work because everybody in the jury sees him as the biggest player, the player to win, the player they're going to vote for. He's played all the strategy and all the big moves and all of this. So, you know, I don't know if going with him would be the way to go. So we should just lock it in. And they essentially lock it in here, kind of. We move forward and we see what happens with that.
I don't know. Like, how the fuck do you think he got convinced here?
Yeah, I think he started to get convinced here. I think he started to consider his options after this conversation. But you know what's crazy? Like, Kaylin has zero agency, and that's a part of the reason he lost, because he couldn't really explain anything that he did with agency because he didn't do anything with agency. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't even be about what Miles or AJ is suggesting. He should immediately be like, I'm going to the end with Zara. I'm going to the end with Zara, and I'm beating Zara, and I'm moving forward. Why would I go to? And that's what AJ clocked him for AJ clocked the fuck out of him. That final round.
He didn't clock shit with Miles, but he clocked Kaylin down.
He clocked Kaylin down because it's true. At this point, you should want AJ and Miles to go. And you have the full control because no one's voting you. But he didn't do it.
Yeah. He had so many times of safety. He clearly had so many connections in the game. And I think this is an example of someone who gets a lot of connections probably because of their just natural vibe and physique, because I would want to be close to him too. But are they actually doing anything in the game? You know, I feel like we saw that with Matt and BB25 when everyone tried to convince us that Matt is some strategic next coming of Dan. And that's not the case. Or Sam with Tyler. And then Tyler came back in All-Stars and didn't show a shit. That happens a lot. And I think that Kaylin just kind of fits that. That's why I thought there was a chance he could win, because a lot of times in a bitter situation, they would just go for something like that. But clearly we're not in America. We're across the pond. We're in the down under. They know what the fuck they're doing. So I respect that.
Amen. We head to the immunity challenge, and it's this like big obstacle course thing. And then at the end, you kind of have to get these balls in a nub. And then the first person to get all their balls in the little hole win, right? Miles bodies this and you know what, they asked him too. He needed this, and at the final tribal council, somebody dumb asked him, Chris Diva asked him, you know, outwit, outlast, outplay, they're all equal, yada yada yada, we'll get there. And for the outplay mark, I feel like people are too quick to just give it to the person with actual full the more amount of wins. Kaylin did win 7 immunity challenges, but there was totally an argument to say that him winning all those immunity challenges when he didn't need to was just increasing his threat level potentially. Of course, he was able to stay, but at the end of the day, is it smarter to go in and win every single challenge and then potentially go home, or is it smarter to win when you need to win? Because when I needed to win is when I won. So I can't say. And then another argument, he outplayed everybody. Like, I mean, when it comes to winning the challenges, would you feel comfortable sitting up here and me asking you that question against Kaylin? Like, I don't feel like that's a fair comparison, because he has the benefit of being physically more fit to look at me. Literally, look at Miles. Miles is a skinny little jungle rat.
Like, it's not a fair argument.
It's not a fair comparison. It's really not a fair argument at all. And he didn't need to, clearly, because he ate him up without saying it. But he could have really shut that whole argument up, because he had the benefit of literally being born with these genetics, and I had the detriment, and I still won exactly when I needed to. So let's talk about outplaying in that way. Okay.
And I don't know why y'all still in the chat calling this girl Chris Diva. She voted for motherfucking Kaylin.
This is the
she
one
ruined
non-diva
Miles' chances of getting an unanimous vote. Unless I'm reading that chart wrong, I think she voted motherfucking.
She voted Kaylin.
Who voted Kaylin? She voted Kaylin.
Yeah.
So where's the diva? She could have gave Miles a unanimous vote. I don't give a fuck how. I know somebody gonna be like, they were friends. They had an alliance. They had a
they said it's better than
I don't give a fuck about none of that.
I'm sorry, it's nothing for me.
She robbed Miles.
They didn't even care about her.
Vote for what? She knew. The thing is, you can't tell me she didn't know they was all voting Miles. Voting Kaylin for what? You're not gonna fuck him, Chris.
Vote Kaylin for what?
You're not.
You're not.
That's probably not what she wants. But still, it's like, girl, well, that's what I want, and I'm projecting. But still,
they're making everything up.
I didn't vote for Kaylin the whole season. I wanted to Kaylin the whole season. Okay,
maybe that's what Chris Diva wanted. Maybe look, if Chris Diva, if you wanted them draws, I'll give it to you. Them dirty draws.
Yeah, look at them in the chat standing. Okay, yes, I would vote Pharaoh even if he flops. But
that's not Pharaoh, Chris Diva and Kaylin.
I've known Pharaoh for like goddamn 12, 13 years.
Didn't Kaylin vote Chris Diva out of the game? It never gave that.
Like, no, they knew each other for like 30 days. No, this is not the same comparison.
It's not.
She wasn't that damn close to him.
Right. Girl, boo. Anyways, Miles eats that immunity up as he does, and now Zara's going home. So she goes back to the camp, and she's trying to be his best friend. And this is the thing. The issue with her plan was stupid in general, but a part of her plan banked on Miles being the next big target. That was so stupid at Final Four, because what if you need Miles? And then now she needs Miles. So she's going to him, and she's like, well, between the two of them, which do you prefer? He told you last round, and you didn't do it. So why the fuck would he do it now? Why didn't you do it last round? I don't get it. So anyways, she goes to him about that. He's like, oh, girl, I don't really care. I don't mind. It is what it is. Because who gives a fuck? Why would I work with you? You just played in my fucking face. We move forward. Well, she talks to AJ and Kaylin. And she's like, she goes to AJ first. And she's like, well, you're going to have to vote for him. And he's going to have to vote for you. And we're going to have to. Then she goes to Kaylin and tries to say the same thing. And she's like, well, yeah, what do you think about maybe voting AJ? And Kaylin said, I'm not doing that. AJ basically said, I'm not doing that either.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that. So I'm not eating that. So anyways, Zara, you're going home, and then that's just that on that. And she's talked about it.
She's so stupid.
But why is she mad about it? Why are you surprised?
She thought she was going to fire. She thought she was going to fire.
She thought she was going to fire.
She didn't even get to fire because you're stupid. You're dumb. You thought Miles was going to help you at least get the fire. No.
Why would he? Why would he?
You're just trying to throw me to the wolves. You're just trying to throw me to the wolves, just like how she tried to do back on that swap tribe.
Ooh,
Zara will throw anybody under the bus to get to the end. I respect it. I do respect it. But you have to be smart. She had 2 chances to turn her game around for the better and gave her a chance to win. Yep. At the worst, she would have lost to a bad bitch like Kate. But at least you had a chance. You had no chance in this Final Four. Zero at all. Yep. I feel like even if Miles didn't win immunity, she still would have went home. I'm not even gonna lie. I truly feel like if Miles didn't win immunity, she still would have went home. She would have went home.
There would have been a way. Yeah.
I think Miles, Kaylin, and AJ would have had some big bro fest where they all jerked each other off and became besties. And they would be like, Zara, gotta go.
Yep. Damn. So we head to the tribal council, and AJ was being a little bitch at the tribal council because he was like, well, yeah, Zara is just going, honestly. It's probably just going to be that. I just need to figure out a way to write Zara's name down on the parchment. That's all it is.
And she had the audacity to be mad.
She was mad. I'm so annoyed because, I don't know, I had the opportunity to flip on them last round. Oh, that's not the accent.
Yeah, you going real British.
Flip on last. Clear. Let me get there. Clear. Clear. On Kaylin.
Oh,
Kaylin. Cleo. Kaylin and IJ. Last round. Yes. Period. So yeah, she said she had the opportunity to flip on them last round, and now they're not. They don't care. And why would they flip on each other?
And if I'm the jury, I'm like, girl, I know Kate was over there laughing. Kate was over there.
I would have busted out. I need the jury to be more messy because
I would have heard me.
I would have. Because, girl, please. But no, this is my thought on this. Miles' decision. I saw a tweet and somebody said, Miles is so fucking stupid. Why didn't he vote for Zara? Is he stupid? Whoop. On paper, I get their confusion. In reality, the only reason Miles won this game is because Zara went home this round. Because his whole argument to Kaylin that he has been pushing was, AJ is the biggest threat. Why would you take him to the end? If AJ goes in this round, Miles, you're the biggest threat. Why would I take you over Zara? Kaylin would have definitely took Zara to the final 2 and definitely won the game. So in hindsight, Miles voting out Zara here perfectly fine because that's what got him the win, honestly. He needed AJ to
he's
get
the winner.
Yeah, he's the winner. So hey. Boom.
And girl, saving Zara for what?
Saving Zara. And then also for what? What did she do for me?
Throw him under the bus like a dog.
Literally. So Zara goes home. We're at the final 3.
Oh my god.
3
the
men.
finale. I feel like I find it very interesting that they go to final 2. I find it so interesting that I forgot it happened last season. But do y'all prefer a final 2 or do y'all like a final 3? I feel like I enjoy a final 3 because it's the only show that really does a final 3. And that's interesting to me. However, I also recognize the argument that it really doesn't do much. There's always a person that probably gets 0 votes. So
this might have changed the outcome though, because AJ apparently, according to the way the jury was talking, AJ could have won. So it would have been a whole nother winner if it was a final 3 potentially. So that's interesting. That's very, very interesting.
Oh yeah, they said all men final 3. Yeah, what's his name? JLP said all men final 3. The first time everyone's from the same tribe.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That is.
So there's
crazy.
always been at least one woman in the final 3, except now. Or has there been a season with all women? That would be gaggy.
Ooh, has there been a season of all women? That would be.
They should definitely do with Battle of the Sexes over here, because I think that would definitely happen then, girl. Ooh, on some goddamn Kim Spradlin shit.
You know what? I don't think AJ would win in a final 3. Because if it's a final 3, Kaylin wins final 4 immunity. He brings someone to final 3. He wouldn't bring AJ. He literally didn't. And then AJ would lose fire because he sucks at everything.
But that you're assuming it's the US.
Does when it is a final 3 in the Australian Survivor, how do they do it? Is it just a regular vote? Because if it is just a regular vote, then it's the same thing.
We just saw it. What do you mean?
Final 3?
Oh, final 3. I think final 4 they vote. Final 4 they vote, and then they go to final 3, like how it usually was.
Okay.
Fire.
Okay.
Survivor US is the only dumb one that does that. They tricked you into thinking it's normal. It's not normal.
I thought it was I'm thinking of it as the normal.
Don't let them do that to you. They just vote. That's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a vote.
Oh, Theodore said, Pharaoh, you also remember the final 3 of 2016 were on the same tribe. They tribe swapped like 3 times that round. I don't even remember that.
I forgot.
I genuinely forgot. But I thought it was 3 different tribes on 2016. Maybe they were all from the same original tribe. Cookie says, shout out to Cookie.
Make it rain, Cookie.
Cookie says, Kaylin was never taking AJ to the final 2. That's why he was so emotional. Also, he's never watched the show. Oh, really? He said he wished he watched Final Tribal Councils. Poor Chris D. I'm not even reading that. Let me stop. Poor Chris Diva's jury villa. No, they were talking to her crazy. Polly was very weird for that. Polly rips her apart. We actually saw that one.
Chris Diva got back on him though. Chris Diva ate him up in that one. She did. That's the one we did see, and she read him down. It was a slight. It was very like, okay, yeah, not too much, because you did this, you did this, you did this, and you did this.
Not too much.
That's the one time I stand Chris Diva. I just didn't like why she robbed our Jungle King his
unanimous win. Because hasn't there been 2 unanimous votes in a row or something like that? Like this could have been another one. These Australians win by a landslide, honey. I know that's right.
Theodore in the
chat. Anyways, we get to the final episode. We started off, and all 3 of these men get their moment, right? Kaylin starts off, and he says that AJ is my best friend. Oh, I almost turned into
I was
Tom
like,
Hanks.
best friend in the world?
Best friend in the world.
He ain't got
and I have to
no
consider this. I have to consider this on a human level. Does he seem like someone who has friends? You feel?
I would be his friend.
I think he seems like such a like to himself type of guy. You know, you see those people like in school. They're like quiet to themselves. They do their work. They go home. Yada yada yada. It's like, you know, if you move like that, you're not too involved with other people. Maybe AJ's his best friend for real. And then you saw Kaylin and Miles. They best friend came to the island. AJ and Miles' best friend came to the island. Kaylin had to have his mama. You know, friends.
Oh my God, you're right.
That's
I would have
sad.
been his friend.
Do they? So y'all, I guess let's get there. So he says that AJ talks about the fact that he's running the game. He's ran the game the whole time. He knows he's winning it. He knows Kaylin is taking him. He's controlled it. He won. Period. That's his spiel.
I'm just like, I just, he's not humble at all. Like, he can't even spell it. And you don't want someone like that to win. Like, this would be a situation where, like, I don't give a fuck how good you played. I don't like you. Yeah. And you're a bitch.
You are. I think he's more funny in person, like in one-to-one interactions, because I feel like the way they received him is like less annoyed than the way we received him. I think in the game they were annoyed, but I don't think personally they were annoyed by him. Like Kate actually liked him a little bit. Morgan actually liked him a little bit. I don't get it, but I think personally he's a little more interesting.
Maybe the charisma's in person. I will say I saw after the island photo recently, and I was like, okay, wait, okay.
What you mean?
Wait, what you mean? Beauty said at the end of the challenge, Kaylin's mom said she was most proud of his heart. And the final trial council, AJ told Kaylin to follow his heart.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yes, AJ was trying. When he said that, I was like, this man, he gonna pull out all the stops. But I feel like that was so interesting to me because we gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We'll just wait.
Yeah, we gonna get there. Miles talks about how he a rat. And rats are survivors. So
bro, he loved that title. He loved that title. That's why I said I was a little offended at first. But girl, he claimed that shit. Okay, I like it though. He like took the word for himself. Like, okay, yeah, I'm a rat. Yeah, bitch, I'm a rat, and I just won.
I'm the rat.
I'm the rat. King of the rats, bitch. I love that. Bitch.
Oh, I know Max is at home seething.
Girl,
God,
he probably got to act like he like it though. He like,
I gave you the name. Remember? Let me hold $1.
Right.
So we get to immunity. They loved ones come in. Miles' best friend Ollie, AJ's best friend Nabil, and Kaylin's mama. Right now, this is my question. This is my question for Australians. Are y'all like more friend oriented? Because the fact that it's two best friends is crazy to me. Like, I've never seen one best friend in US, let alone two. Like, is it just like y'all are very friend code? And then Kaylin earlier this episode, AJ's my best friend now. I'm like, are y'all just really, really friendly people over there? What is that about? Because over here we don't got friends. Leave my own friend.
What is that about?
Like, what is that?
That honestly is a fair argument. Because also, you remember early in the season, Paulie was like, I don't give a fuck about that letter. I want food. Yeah. Like, so I'm like, oh, okay. So the girls do not be caring, because I feel like in America they be real emotional. I said that before too. Like, I've said before, like, I think if it was like a letter, I don't think I would get emotional about a letter. If they came to the island, bitch, I'm busting down in tears.
Busted open, bend over, put my back in it. This is why I need a man, because I don't care to see my mama on that damn island. Where's my man? Like, where's my man? Like, where's my man? Like, that's what I need. My man. My sister, my daddy, my brother, my cousin. I don't give a fuck. Lee, I don't give a fuck. You're not gonna give me my energy. I need a boost. I need a boost. You know? So that's why I need to be my man. I would have saw my best friend. Lee, no shade. You would have came around the corner. I'd be like, oh hey. I'd be like, oh hey. Like,
I feel like I would be happy to see someone from the outside world, but like, for a family visit, I want to see my mama.
Where's my mama? I need somebody who can get, and I do think I would get a boost. Let me not play you. I think I would get a boost. I would be like, yes, let me win this thing and and root me on. But you saw how Ollie was sitting on that damn bench not saying nothing. Fucking AJ's loved one had to tell Ollie to root on Miles. He's sitting there mute. Say something, nigga.
Say something.
Your friend is dying. That was crazy. But yes,
this community was crazy though.
This is my question: was it fair? I don't know why my mind always goes there. But those bamboos, you know, you have to stand on these pegs. That part's fine. Everybody's standing on the pegs. But then to keep your body up, you have to lean on these staggering bamboos. To me, they looked like they were all the equal amount of space apart for each person. But that's the issue. AJ is like 6'4". So he's barely leaning. And while by the last round, AJ's kind of like leaning over. Miles is literally, you know, reaching because Miles is fucking like 5 foot something. So I'm like, of course Miles is gonna drop. That nigga's whole body is turned horizontally to hold on. And AJ can just like, you know, and he still sucks because he still fucking lost because he's taller than Kaylin too. Because even Kaylin had to reach over a lot more. So I'm like, sure, I like the challenge. I thought it was fun, but they need to make sure the wingspans are measured so that way they can make sure that it's the equal amount of stretch. Because of course Miles was going to lose this, considering how much he had to stretch versus AJ and Kaylin and yada yada yada. But that's why he's that girl, because he lost to still won the game. No shame.
Hey, girl, the fact that he broke the immunity record with 7, like 7 is crazy. Whoa. And then lost. Whoa. And then someone mentioned in the chat earlier, he literally only had 1 vote against him. There was a way he could have articulated the game, but he should have did more in the game. And that's the problem. Because all of his game is through the scope of having Miles and AJ as shields, and in his mind telling them what to do, which means your game is only seen through 2 people. One of those people you're sitting next to and has to beat you in the end. You know what I mean? So it's just like he has no real argument past that. But you made a really fair point. I think when people are making these challenges, especially like the endurance ones, like they're just not going to be fair. Like even in BB26, we still had the wall, even though everything else was equitable, because they are going to put in a competition that's just crazy for anybody. But I think that people forget that you can do that while also making those slight adjustments. Like there's no reason why these people with 3 different heights are not having the same advantage in doing it. Because we saw that with the challenge recently too. Like they had to jump up and grab something, and you have this woman team, both like under 5'5", look like, trying to jump and grab something. Like it's not going to work.
What? And then everybody's confused when they didn't get it. Oh, look at them, didn't get it. I mean, what the fuck do you expect? But yes, I don't hate. I like Kaylin. I don't have a problem with Kaylin. So all my negative commentary don't make it feel like it's that I have a problem with him. But
yeah, you bet not.
I'm not super. I'm not super impressed with his 7 wins. No shade, because
I'm never impressed by wins.
I'm never impressed by wins. And it blends into the reason that I'm gonna say for Kaylin specifically. Like we already talked about it. This benefits you more than it benefits so many other people because of your physicality. But also this particular season, I have not seen every Survivor Australia season, but so many of these challenges were the same thing. Like literally use your back muscles to hold
a lot of endurance.
A lot of endurance. And it's like, and a lot of like physical masculine endurance. Like he literally had to hold his weight. Like on like 2, look at the body. On like 2 of the challenges. Some of them were balanced. And I'm like, all of the balanced ones that he got, you know, I just felt like it was very similar challenges that he won. It was not a high variety of the ones, because whenever it did get slightly various, that's when other people would win sometimes. That's when Miles got his 1 win. That's when Zara got her 1 win. That's when Kate got her 1 win. And then Kate got another win. Like, it's like, you know, here and there, it's like when we get a little bit out of his real house, he starts losing. So although he got 7 and he eats that the fuck up, it's just also, of course. I don't know. I'm just not super impressed.
This is a fair point. Rudy says, was there a puzzle as an individual immunity? Girl, Australian Survivor, they don't do puzzles like that.
They said, fuck them puzzles.
Survivor US, stay with a puzzle. There was.
He won a puzzle.
He won a puzzle too. That's my man.
But he won a puzzle because it was when they had to like dig and then run and then get to the puzzle. But he got to the puzzle when everyone was still on the first leg of the thing. Not that he would have just lost, but it wasn't even at the same time. But we moved.
Yeah, Survivor US has a puzzle like every challenge. It seemed like every single challenge got a puzzle. It don't matter what it is. But I don't remember seeing many puzzles this season. I like that. I like that they do more physical stuff. I saw an article today where Jeff was like, the reason why they basically stopped doing physical challenges was because people kept getting hurt. Well, that's the thing. He said that over time it just stopped. Like they didn't officially say that was the reason. They just stopped doing it because they feel like the challenges that they do now is more interesting. But he says what could be a reason is that people were getting injured. But then he also went into how people get injured to this day. So it's like, bring them back, basically. Like he just said a whole bunch of nothing. Just bring them back. Jeff be pissing me off.
That's what he loves to do. Just say a whole bunch of nothing. God damn.
Girl, the way he had to bring out that whole whiteboard and shit just to say, you have to choose.
Yes.
Like, girl, stop.
Literally stop. So yes, Kaylin wins his 7th individual immunity, and we head to tribal council. And this is where we get AJ and Miles pitching their pitches, right? And this is another issue with Kaylin. The jury essentially just saw you get convinced by Miles to take him to final 2. So of course you're saying all of this stuff at the next tribal council, but just last night we saw Miles eat you up single-handedly. So all of that, I was using Miles and AJ. It's like, not really, because Miles just ate you up yesterday. We saw you. You said AJ was your closest friend, and Miles convinced you to take him. He literally convinced you. We saw him. So that's another issue.
Crazy to me, because the way AJ did in his basically final push to him about go with your heart and stuff like that, it's like he made a good argument against Miles, essentially the same argument that Miles made against AJ. So it's confusing to me that he wouldn't just go with his best friend. It seems like, based on the arguments, you're losing either way. In my opinion, AJ pissed more people off, so even if you still lost, it's like, well, you would have lost to your closest friend. But maybe he's like, I love them both, so it didn't matter. I don't know. And that's another reason why I was saying about Kaylin, is that Kaylin didn't go to the end with them for some strategic reason. That's why he can't explain the strategic reason as to why he went to the end with them. He went to the end with his friends, period. He went to the end with his 2 closest friends, and that was it. It had no strategy behind it. It had no reasoning. I think Miles and AJ had a reason for this to be the final 3. It specifically helped them a lot. And this final 3 helped Kaylin a lot, and he tried to articulate that, but it's like, that wasn't the sole reason as to why he was even in this. These were his closest friends on the island, period. That's why he was in so many other alliances, but it didn't matter because he was going to stick with his friends regardless. So he was not thinking strategically at all. It was mainly just social.
Yep.
But he tried to think that he was the strategic icon as well. And girl, no,
you weren't. And I do think that that's why I feel like Miles did slightly convince Kaylin, because it doesn't necessarily make sense for him. After saying so many times how much he's not betraying anyone. He even said it at the final. He's like, I didn't betray anybody except AJ. And it's like, first of all, not really. But second of all,
of us, we all thought we were working with you.
Literally. So first of all, that was a lie. But second of all, why would you betray randomly AJ then, unless you were convinced by Miles? Unless Miles gave you a compelling argument, I don't see why you would have done that. And to be frank, if Miles didn't say anything, I don't think he would have taken Miles. I think he would have took AJ. If Miles didn't pitch to him last episode, if he didn't say anything in the tribal council and he just sat there mute, and it was just that, he would have took AJ. He only took Miles because Miles convinced him. 100%. 100%.
Where's your own mind? That's just embarrassing, Kaylin. Oh, girl.
Just a tad. And I think Miles had a compelling, or I think he believed that Miles was more correct in the sense that AJ is seen as this big dynamic player. And honestly, it could have been true. It could have been the fact that even if he brought AJ was washing him and getting all the votes. But I was telling Lee, I was like, I feel like Kaylin's argument works better against AJ rather than Miles, because his whole argument is that, oh, I used this person to do my dirty work. And that's the issue. He didn't even say it in that way. He needs to be a little bit more forward with how he was saying it. He was kind of beating around, AJ and Miles were helping me throughout fuck all that. I used AJ and Miles to do all my dirty work so that way they would get the blood on their hands. And that's why Miles has 26 votes, because I didn't want the votes to go on me. That's why AJ had 4 votes and he was the target here and there because I didn't want to be the target. He never said it in that way. And it's like, is it because that was never the real truth? Because if that was the truth, you could have said it in that way. So
it wasn't. It wasn't.
But I think that argument works better against AJ because Miles has a reason to play aggressively. He was on the bottom and all of this other stuff. So it's like, we get it. You're the jungle rat. You were on the bottom. You have a compelling story. AJ doesn't have a reason to play the way he played. He played sloppily and messily and very forwardly for no reason. He was never in trouble at the beginning of the game. So Kaylin could have just been like, I made AJ play all of that messy shit just because I wanted him to. And then it would probably work a little better, but his argumentative skills weren't up to par in general. He wasn't giving a compelling argument in that way. but we move. So yeah, they go back and forth. They give their pitches, and he of course chooses to vote out AJ.
I mean, girl, the whole. I have to step to the side. Can we talk?
And come here. Talk me through it, daddies. What was that? What was that? He was like,
he's so sweet. He's so sweet and baby girl.
It's like sweet and baby girl in a way of like, it's cute, you know, in the bedroom, but like on Survivor on the island, that would have threw me off. That would have threw me off. Like, what are you doing? And then I can only imagine AJ ended up telling them that he had to do that. And it's like, as a jury member, if AJ came to the jury and was like, Kaylin pulled us to the side, because I would have asked him, what did he say when he pulled y'all to the side, right? AJ would have said, he asked us to help him with his decision. Like, what? That tells me, that alone tells me that you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
You had to help. They had to help you all season.
And then they're like, what do you want us to do? Tell you who to vote out? He's like, no, just talk me through it, daddies. Like, okay, like what are we even doing here? I didn't even understand the purpose of that. What did he want? If you
had to choose between me and your other closest friend, wouldn't you need to consult with us?
No, I'm choosing the one I could beat better. I could be easier. It's not hard.
Honestly, I was literally, y'all both my friends. I love both of you, but I'm going with him.
Right, because I played him. Like, and that's another thing. Like, don't put me on the island, because when I casted my vote, I would have been like, look, I voted, or whenever he read the votes and I'm hugging him and letting him go home, I'm be like, look, I can beat Miles. I ran Miles all game. Miles didn't do shit. I'm saying something for the jury to hear. I want them to know. He just, I'm sorry. He started crying. Why are you crying?
It did really show his position in this game. Like, it is really bad, especially like that's another thing of like, I don't think he realized how they perceived him. Well, no, he kind of knew, because he mentioned, I think people think this about me. And it's like, well, why didn't you try to like change that? I guess he thought he was, but there was no way you can go into Final Tribal acting like that when you did this performance here. Like, there's no way you can claim those things when you're acting like this right here. It's very clear. These were your rocks this entire time. Like, you needed them in this game.
They were holding you up, clearly. But we move. So we get to the Final Tribal Council, and Kaylin and Miles sits before the jury. Let me remove AJ.
Bye, AJ.
Bye, Daddy. Kaylin and Miles. I feel like the final three, all three of them. Let me shut up. I've been doing good, so I'm gonna just shut up. But Daddy. So Kaylin starts off. He gives his final speech. I have it written down. It's paraphrased, right? He says something along the lines of, I set the immunity challenge record. Nobody cares. I have the best social game because I only have one vote against you. Okay, that
you had 7 immunities.
Uh-oh. And he said he felt like because he was such a physical threat, he needed to be sweet and act unassuming because people would start giving him information. And that's exactly what happened. He would be at the fire, and while I'm at the fire, people are chatting, not even caring that I'm listening. So what I did was I spreaded those seeds around. And when I spread those seeds around, I was able to gather that information, lower my threat level, and push my agenda. Now, did the speech was my pussy time?
The speech 8, but where are the receipts, mama?
Ooh.
And that's what the questions we're getting into. The questions we're getting into the receipts. Because he did eat this up. He did. But now we need the receipts, mama. Ooh. Now we need the evidence. Okay?
I have a question.
Get there.
Hypothetically, if he genuinely thought he was the reason Karen went home, as he said in the diary room earlier, why didn't he bring that up once in this final jury segment?
Girl, because he didn't even.
Where was the receipts? But you know what? Maybe it's, if I bring this up, AJ's gonna tell him that it wasn't him. And it's like, so you know it wasn't you. So you know it wasn't. Because if I knew it was me, I would have said, I convinced AJ to take out Karen. He didn't do that. I convinced Miles to pull Polly in. No, you didn't. I convinced Miles to target Laura.
AJ would have clocked.
No, you didn't. I convinced AJ to take out Logan. No, you didn't. I convinced Kate and Morgan to flip with us. No, you didn't. Anything that occurred, you didn't actually do. So he never said any of it. Unfortunately.
He couldn't give any specific examples at all.
No receipts. None. Very embarrassing. Miles goes, I'm not even gonna lie.
No, this is hilarious. Last night I took out the biggest strategist from the game. Doesn't that make me the biggest strategist?
And
he said he worked hard as a strategist, finding the two biggest strategists and aligning with them. He thought he ate that. That's because his game is social. He should have harped on the social.
Focused on that.
Because when we get into strategic strategy, hang that up.
Wrap that up. And then it's a great, you can tell he thought about it, and I appreciate that. He thought about it, cared about it, wanted to articulate it, because I was scared he wouldn't even be able to do that. He did. I'll give him that. And I'm not even going to lie. I preferred his speech over Miles' speech. When Miles gave his speech, I was like, I think I liked Kaylin's speech better. I did. Speech.
I immediately clocked, while Kaylin did a great speech, I immediately clocked the reception of the jury, or how I would have received it. And I immediately received Miles as enduring. I received Miles as someone who was calm, someone who is having a real conversation. You know what I mean?
Very true.
It wasn't grandiose. It wasn't like flashy, especially because this is the intro speech. You don't give them all the goods. This was a very much general, you can root for me speech, which is why I liked it. Kaylin tried to give this like, oh, I did this.
I think that's very true. And I think when you're not confident, I don't know if he wasn't confident, because he seemed confident, but you're spilling in the fact that Miles didn't need to give everything in this speech, and he didn't need to come off with this step by step, point by point, because that's what I liked about Kaylin's. I was like, he is giving me all of these details. I loved that. And Miles was slightly more general, but you're right in the sense that Miles is more compelling. He's talking to me. He's telling a conversation. He's warming up his nachos. Kaylin just gave me the plate of nachos. Like, Kaylin said, here's all my nachos. Eat them right now.
It was soggy, girl. They've been out for a while.
Soggy nachos. Damn. So Miles goes, and he starts off, he says, look, I took big swings in this game. Y'all already know this, but I played from the bottom the entire time. But I played from the bottom with a smile on my face.
With the bottom with a smile.
He said,
I also like the bottom while smiling.
What? Hello? What'd you say?
Nothing.
No, I heard you.
No, you didn't.
Somebody did. It's recorded live. He said, I made myself useful and I took all the heat. And I could take it. Oh, he could take it, honey. So he said, not only did I have the most idols, but I also played them correctly. The final three of IJ, Kaylin, and myself are was curated by me, and this is what AJ clocks him on later on. He says, because I wanted all these dragons around me, because when people see dragons, they slay them. And I used these dragons to burn all of you, and I used one of the dragons at the end to take out the other dragon.
Okay. I don't know how that's false, though, because Kaylin already said in his speech that he brought information and spread it. He only spread it to Miles and AJ. And we saw several times that AJ was the person that people went to take out Miles several times. And AJ made sure that didn't happen. So, you were the dragon. You protected him. And then you brought the information to Miles. And then you used that to take out other people. That's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. In fact, you used the one dragon to take out the other because Miles convinced Kaylin to take him over you. That's why I was like, you're not clocking anything with Miles.
He didn't. That's why Miles was able to shut it down. He was able to shut it down so easily because he wasn't talking about nothing. But yes, Delta Diva says, Miles said being on the bottom means he's actually had to survive, whereas everyone else's Kaylin didn't have to survive shit. That's the main reason.
Got bucked. Like, he was like, hold on.
Girl. Right. But I feel like that's why Miles won this entire situation, because Miles kept explaining I was playing the game, whether I did bad, whether I fumbled, whether I shot, whether I hit the goal, whether I didn't, I was playing the game. Period. And Kaylin could not get there. He could not get there. And as someone, you got to put yourself in the jury's shoes, especially Survivor Australia jury. They have been out here for 50 5 fucking days.
They know y'all.
Dying, playing their heart out, trying their hardest, trying to do this move, that move, use this idol, that idol, play this thing, that thing, and they weren't able to do it. And Miles was. Whether he missed sometimes, hit sometimes, whatever it was, he played the game, and I just sat out here and sweated and did all of this, and I played. So why the fuck would I vote Kaylin? It's like me getting out there and me running a motherfucking mile, and someone walks the entire mile, and then at the end of it, they're like, well, vote for one of us. No, I'm voting for all the bitches who ran. You walked. And that's exactly what this energy is. It's like, I don't want to vote you. Even if I do feel, because I don't think anyone just feels like Kaylin played a shitty ass game and he's fucking terrible and he's not. He played perfectly fine. A lot of the points he made were true. Is his game more replicable? Yes. But does that mean you are the deserving winner? Not necessarily, because if anybody can repeat it, why the fuck should you win? Uniqueness, charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. Where is it at? But we move. We get into the questions. Kristen starts off. Let me stop before they get me in the chat.
Because, girl, the Kristen fans are out today.
You know, I equally hold the 3 pillars of this game to the high regard. Outwit, outplay, outlast.
If that was the case, why are you voting Kaylin?
Ooh, because he got 2 of the 3 in her mind. So can y'all tell me who won on those 3 accounts of the outwit, outplay, outlast? Miles speaks and he says the physical part I'll just give to Kaylin. I wouldn't have even did that. You're not getting shit if you ask me. I would have said my explanation how I said earlier. You can't just win everything and think you're playing greatly physically. Fuck all that. Then he said for the strategic, of course, I would say myself. I think we could both agree. The fuck. And then for the social, now Miles, he tried to be cute. I don't know if he should have went this route. He was like, I'd say me socially because, and this wasn't false. I just don't think the jury understood exactly what he was saying. But he was like, I think I did good socially because people would come to me with information and they would go to bat for me in the game. And that did happen. AJ did that a lot. I think he should have went a little further and probably been like, I made specific social connections that would specifically get me to the end. Mm-hmm. So I still played socially, and I don't think that type of social game should get disregarded. So it's like they wasn't giving him that though.
I would also say like he could argue that his social game was better because I think Miles has worked in some part with almost everyone in the goddamn jury. Kaylin, while people believe they may have been working with Kaylin, they were never really working with Kaylin. Kaylin was just there. Like Miles did actual strategic and social moves with multiple people, while Kaylin only worked with the same 2 people the entire time. So I think you could argue that he has social. I think Kaylin has a good social game in other regards, but in my opinion, Miles wins all 3 goddamn pillars. Like I'm often like say, I guess physical. You could easily say physical is the immunity wins. But I think there's more to just being physical. But if anything, you can give him that because of the immunity wins. But Miles definitely got the other 2.
Yeah. Shout out to L. Williams. This final jury actually made me see the sex appeal Pharaoh has been moaning about all season. Every time Miles spoke, I was like, ooh, Zaddy, take him down. Girl, Miles is sexy, which is so like surprising.
DM him.
I don't know if he's interested in me. If he would be interested. Y'all like add Miles on Twitter and tell him that I'm in love with him. Show him this clip. Somebody clip this and send this to him. Miles, I love you so much. If we could just have one conversation, that would mean the world to me. Like just one chat, one talk. I can move to Australia. We could eat what they be eating in Australia? I forgot. What's that black shit called? It's like some black, it's like a dip and it's Vegemite. We can eat some Vegemite.
What the hell is Vegemite?
It's an Australian delicacy, honey. You better get into it, honey.
I had never heard no damn Vegemite.
It's a black like dip that you eat with like crackers or chips. Yada yada yada. Shout out to Zay. Zay says Kaylin low-key worrying about arguing, rebuttaling Miles. He really was during the jury question instead of just telling his story. I just knew he lost. LOL, Miles shook him bad when he was on the defense the whole time. He seemed so defensive.
And that it just screams desperation. Every time you see that in the final tribal, it's like, girl, you're desperate. Calm down. We're not even talking to you yet.
Yeah, you're panicking. Tell your story. You got to tell your story. Why should I vote for you? We get to Paulie. Paulie says, pride is important to me. We know. What parts of yourself are you proud of while playing this game? Miles says his resilience. He says that's something that doesn't get tested in real life a lot. So going in this game, proving that he can be resilient, he was very, very proud of that. Kaylin said,
compare him to Taylor Hale with that resilience. She ate that. Yes. I am resilient. I am not a victim. I am a victor. Diva.
That was also compelling because it goes along with Miles's story that he's painting to the jury. Not even painting, but it actually exists, but also that he's showing the jury, this is my story. I was playing from the bottom, yada, yada, yada. It works. Kaylin says his mental toughness. He says he thrives in uncomfortable positions. And not only can he survive, but he can also help his friends. And it's like, you're telling us why everything you say later on is a lie. Like you literally said, not only can I survive through the toughness, I can help all my friends through the toughness. Yay. And it's like, so you're telling us you helped Miles.
And then Kate tried to trip him up. Okay, so are you saying that's how you are in real life, or are you just playing the game? Like, I'm just trying to figure out what's tea, like what's going on.
Because where's the game part? Because the point was like what was highlighted, and it's like, so this just sounds like you. Like this just sounds like you. And that's it. It's like, where's the game? But we move.
Now, why is Theodore making it rain for this?
So what is he talking? So shout out for
She's
you.
She's a firefighter. Period, Theodore, make it rain.
Who he talking about? Who a firefighter?
You know who he talking about.
I don't.
She's a firefighter. She had an idol. She tried saving Karen. She mopped the jury villa floor with Paulie. She served looks on the bench. She did not vote the man who stole her idol.
Emojis are killing me.
Chris Diva to you.
The emojis are killing me. The emojis are killing me. It never gave Diva. I'm sorry. And then it almost did. No, it didn't even almost. We need to find somebody else for you to stand, baby. You don't want to try Logan? I don't know. Laura, Indy, Candy, somebody.
It's
like, why her?
Theodore, let me find out you're Kristen.
Why her? Right. This Kristen's son, daughter, whoever. God. Karen asked them, what are we least proud of? Kaylin says, I don't think I've made one strategic error. First of all, that was not the question. You know what's crazy? I didn't even notice that was not the question. She said, what are you least proud of in this game? And he said, I didn't make one strategic error. So the only thing I can say I regret. You didn't have to say that part. What the fuck?
And then he goes on to lie and say the only alliance I broke is with AJ, when multiple people feel like they were in alliance with you. Like, even if you feel that way, be smart enough to realize, how do they see it? You know these people trusted you.
He literally had a moment where he said, everybody's in a duo, so I'm going to play all the duos. So you know you were playing the duos. You know they thought that you were working with them. Why are you confused? Well, not even confused. I just don't know. People,
it's always the cute ones.
The truth is, people don't like you. People don't like when they feel like you're bullshitting them. And I felt like they probably felt like he was bullshitting them. And one thing Miles did the entire time was he took full accountability. When they were like, what's something you didn't do? He was like, honestly, shit. Like this next moment, he said, honestly, I've been cocky and annoying, and I regret that the most. He's owning up to something. Own up to something. They like
That's what they want. That's what they want. And that's the thing. It's like, you may not believe it. You may not care about it. You may think, fuck what their feelings are. And it's like, real. Because I would feel the exact same way. Lie.
I don't have to actually feel this way.
I don't think Miles actually cares about how arrogant he was. He don't give a damn. But he knows that they felt that way about it. So he's going to say that.
And this is the thing. They're asking you a question for a reason. There were way too many questions that Kaylin just didn't answer or opted to say something silly. They're asking for a reason. Give them something about your game, every single answer. They would have asked me, what are you least proud of? And I would have said, honestly, I'm least proud of how I treated you in the game, because the way I like something. I would prefer that. Something. Give her something. King. Come up with something. But that's the thing. He should have some things that he was least proud of. After hearing their responses to the first couple of questions, he could have easily went towards, I kind of wish I would have played a little harder. You know, I went through this whole game and now I'm realizing I didn't play as hard as I wish I did. Something. But the issue is he thinks he played as hard as he could, which is sad. But come on.
Like, saying twice that he didn't think he made any errors is absolutely fucking insane.
Insane. So then Karen asked,
error. Like
what? You're not perfect, King. What the fuck? Karen asked Miles, she's like, do you think you would have survived without all those advantages though? And he was like, probably not, which she probably loved that answer because it's like I think humanly, you immediately think to defend yourself. You think defense mode. You have to be vulnerable enough, especially in this final tribal to be real. To be real, be honest. Probably not. Honestly, I don't even think that's necessarily like there was moments where Miles literally would have went home with the votes. But I also feel like it's with Miles, his savviness is so interesting to the fact where you could say he needed the idols, but every time he didn't have an idol, he was a target and he still stayed by another virtue of something else, getting the votes or doing this. Because you have to remember, AJ was telling him to play his idol because AJ knew he had an idol. If AJ didn't think he had an idol, it could have easily just been, we need to figure out who else to put this vote on because it's on you. I just feel like there could have been other ways that Miles could have stayed truthfully, but he didn't even say that. He could have said that and he didn't. He said, I probably would go home, honestly. And I use luck to my benefit. And I feel like everyone has luck in this game, obviously. And here go Kaylin. I don't know. I've never relied on luck. Personally, I didn't rely on luck at all. When I talk about the Soul Survivor, I think I have the most repeatable game. My game is repeatable because it never gave luck. This is the issue. It's impossible to not give luck. Like, you were lucky that all of the competitions were what they were. What if all the competitions were be the skinniest bottom on the island? Miles would have won them all. Like you had the benefit. You had the benefit of the roll of the dice of what the challenges were. You had the benefit of who was going to be on your tribe and who wasn't. There were certain people who you probably couldn't have meshed with if you were on the Brawn tribe instead of the Brain. If you wouldn't have had AJ and Miles. There's a lot of things that involve luck. Obviously. So to say he went all the way there with no luck when you won 7 immunity challenges that were all repeated, please, fuck out my face. No shade. Sorry.
Like it's embarrassing. It's crazy. It's like he truly felt that he did not fuck up once. Like he essentially, like you said, played a perfect game. He thought he played a perfect game.
Yeah. Rudy mentioned there was a whole tribe swap. You could have got tribe swap to be in the minority. So many things. Please, King. And then Miles comes out and he's like, well, look, you might have a repeatable game, but in poker, there's always someone who can fold over and over and over again, and they're going to get to the end of the game every single time, of course. But the winner is the person who plays the big hands. And could that person go home early? Yes, but they're also the winner. Great analogy.
Yeah.
Eats it up.
Because I mean, like it's all about having that chance, and I feel like we talk about that a lot on this podcast, and some people they don't like listening to it, but it truly is the moves. Like, I hate when people say like the move doesn't require this much of a critique. Every single move that you do is going to get you to the win or get you to your loss. Period. Period. At the end of the day, it's like having words. Like words have meanings. Moves have meanings. So if you do a specific thing, it could lead to this negative thing that you're going to get out of the game with. That's why we always say, well, you should have done this. And then people are like, well, no, because this. And it's like, no.
Yep.
You need a chance to win. If she did not do this, if this person did not do this, they're going to lose. So give yourself the chance and then work around it. At least you can say, bitch, I made one of the biggest, most iconic moves and I tried my best. Because if not, you're just going to find a floor like Zara, lose, and everybody's going to clown you. So now you're a loser and a clown. At least you're a loser and an icon. Some like AJ. Like AJ is a good example.
Yep.
AJ is going to go down as a strategic legend in this game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's just dumb. It's bad. It's annoying. Or even like Karin. People love Karin because Karin was like, fuck y'all, I'm gonna do what I want.
Yep. She put it on the floor. Period. So Kaylin after this says, mind you, this whole thing is coming from a question that was posed that Kaylin already answered and Miles was now answering, and now he's kind of going back and forth with Miles. I feel like he's spending a lot of time putting attention on what Miles did in the game. Like this whole conversation is about Miles' perspective. And it's like you're giving him more time. Give yourself some time. But he says when they make the big move, when the big player makes the big move, they have to be consistent because you weren't consistent because you saved Paulie. And it's like you're telling them information about his game. You're giving him more ammo about his game. What about your game? What did you do? Tell them take this time for yourself. Take this time for yourself. He's taking the time and giving it to him. So he's like, yeah, when you save Paulie, first of all, I saved Paulie. You didn't. And then he said, and then you turned on him. I turned on Paulie. You did. He just gave him 2 things that Miles did. that he didn't do. And he tried to use it as like an issue. And then he gets ate up. And it's like, you're only getting ate up by Karin right now because you jumped in on Miles' answer. Shut up, King. Because Karin comes in and she's like,
Karin ate him up nasty.
He ate him up. She said, you were given an excellent hand and you didn't use it to make a big move. Why not? He's silent. My plan of the game was to feed information. Like, what? This wasn't even a question no more. Feed information to Miles and AJ and da. No, you were given a perfect hand. You had 7 immunities. You could have never went home for 7 rounds.
And you sat there.
And you did nothing with that hand.
Impossible.
Impossible. AJ comes, and here go AJ. You know he got to be the big bad wolf in the I've heard delusion from both of you, so I'm going to tell you about your mistakes. Who are you, my dad?
I've heard delusion from you all goddamn season, nigga.
Like what? So this is when he said that Miles' speech was wrong because he said that he wanted to use a dragon to take out a dragon, but in actuality, you wanted me out at Final 5, Miles. So how did you want to use a dragon to take out another dragon if you wanted me out 2 rounds before then? And Miles was like,
I wouldn't even give an answer. I'd be like, people can't change their mind.
Like what?
Like it's as simple as that. I changed my mind, and I still got you out.
His answer ate him up. He said, "Well, I meant that as throughout the game. Throughout the game, I was using you both throughout the entire game, not just at Final 5. At the end, I had the feeling to take you out because I had a read that Zara was going to take me. And here goes Zara. I was going to take him. I was going to take him." And he said, I had a judgment call. I had to make a judgment call. And it's like, duh, you're playing Survivor. You have to do something, right? So he didn't really eat up Miles.
It's so stupid to try and like call back a previous decision. Like you've switched your decision multiple times, or something just didn't work out, or you know what I mean? It's like that doesn't fucking matter. Like, especially like I like that he said it's throughout the game. Like you act like that was the only week in the game. We were here for 90 days.
So long. So long. Girl. And I hated it because it made me feel like, are you just listening to argue? Like, are you just listening to prove why you're a better player than both of them? And I don't need that. I need you to pay attention.
That's exactly what it was. This was his moment to stand up and show that he had the biggest dick in the room.
Because he wanted to be there and he's not. So anyways, he eats Kaylin the fuck up though. He says, Kaylin, you claim to have played strategically perfectly throughout the game, which was such a bold, like, why would he ever say that?
Crazy.
What? And he says, and you say that your game is very repeatable, but I feel like you would have trouble every single time because if we were the shields, you're supposed to take the shields out, but you didn't. Me and Miles were your biggest shields. We were the biggest players, and you took us both all the way to the end, so much so that you had to choose a bigger player. You had to choose one of us. Why not bring somebody you could beat? Why not bring someone you could be? He didn't know what to say. Because what could you say to that? Y'all were my friends. That's the reason. The real reason is y'all were my friends.
Basically.
Can't say that.
What did he end up saying?
He says, the people who I wasn't who were confident wouldn't have ever took me out, like you and Miles. You and Miles were so confident that y'all would never take me out. But if I would have went with someone less confident, they would have woke up and knew that they needed to take me out of the game. But I thought you had a great social game.
But it's like he also is not stating arguments that is like you couldn't get taken out because you have 7 immunities. Like, it's impressive that you have 7. Right. It can be seen as impressive that you have 7 immunities. It can be seen as impressive that you only have 1 vote because, you know, we still had time before merge where he could have gotten votes and he didn't get it. It's just that the arguments he's giving is not proving that it was only the immunities that got him here. Like, every argument he's making, it contradicts that because what do you mean go with someone else? They're going to wake up. No one could wake up. Even if Miles and AJ were woke, they couldn't take you out. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it was oh my God. Especially like that round, that one round where he didn't win and he still stayed. Like, build off that. Like, there are moments that he could have made into bigger moments that he couldn't because truly he didn't do anything. But the stuff he did do, he couldn't even articulate because he didn't think he was doing it. He probably was just chilling the entire time.
Mm-hmm. And he was coming up with, it was like things were happening and he was coming up with reasons why that could be a strategy for him. It's like Karin was becoming the target and he's like, I could push this. This is me pushing this. You know, like he would win 7 immunities. I could say that, yeah, this could be me, a good thing for me. It's like things were just occurring and he was making it into a story rather than him having an actual story where he paved the way. Of course. So Logan comes. She says, if you had to wake up tomorrow and play again, start again differently, what would you do differently? Kaylin says, sorry, don't have an answer for you. What?
Like the last question. Sorry, Logan. I don't even have an answer for you. I'm very confident in my game. There are no changes. No, like this man said,
what?
This man got up here and said, my game is perfect. I have no notes. No notes.
But
actually.
AJ just said you took 2 big targets to the end. Don't you think that's a mistake? Karen just said you had the perfect hand. Don't you think that's a mistake? Fuck if you feel that way. They clearly think you made mistakes. But even this, get this. Even if you think everything you did was perfect, you still should give her an answer. She would have been like, if you wake up tomorrow and start again, what would you do differently? I'll be like, honestly, I think I was able to play this game so effectively that I probably could have made even deeper bonds with you guys. I probably could have spent a little bit more time talking to you about your husband and your son, because I played so good. I could have started eating. I wish I would have started eating some of the fruit on the island, because that's how good. At least be cocky. That's the thing. That's what pisses me off. He is being so confident, but he's not even being cocky. At least be like AJ. At least go on that bitch. Bitch, I ran all of you hoes. Boom, that's it. Like, she could have asked this and he would have like, I wish I would have ran you a little more, Logan, because I was running everybody. No, he's not even giving that. Give me something, daddy. Give me something. Fuck.
It's so embarrassing. Like, to answer a question with, I don't have an answer for you. What?
Find one. Nigga. I would have made him answer. What are you talking about? What did Miles say? My man. Ugh. Almost forgot. It says, obviously my social game has flaws, so I put more energy and focus there. But one thing I did do good, and that's the thing, he flipped it around and made it into
that's what you got to do.
And he's building on his story. So far, we went through every question. This is the last question. Kaylin's story was just his intro speech. Nothing else developed after that intro. With Miles, we got so much throughout all of this. He ends it off with this. He says, look, I could have used what I did was I did listen to critiques. So even though I started off socially bad, every time somebody came to me and was telling me that I should do this different, or I could have did this better, I built on that and I used that as a way to improve my game over time. Nigga.
He ate. Like, he truly ate. Miles ate this game from the start to the finish. Like, as soon as he came on the screen, it was given main character. It really was. And he dominated towards to the end. And why I think I would say he's a better player than AJ is because he's just well-rounded. I think that AJ has certain flaws that would not work out in certain seasons. And I think that Miles, same. But it's like, I think that he could be well off more than AJ in certain situations. I truly do. Like, I don't know. And then he's also just endearing, appealing. Like, you want to root for Miles, I feel like. You truly do. And with AJ, you really, really just get a bad taste in your mouth. So I'll say I respect both of their games for sure. I think both of them would have deserved to win, but I would choose Miles, and I think I'm so happy that he won this season. I was saying that I think Kaylin could win. I want to be very clear, not because I thought he played a good game. I'm not delusional. I am not delusional. Y'all have to remember, I may say delusional things, but I'm not delusional at the end of the day.
Amen.
And you know, there's no way in hell he would have deserved to win. I just thought it was a possibility. Gladly, I'm wrong. Because Miles truly deserved this win. I'm happy.
Yeah, me too. Loved it. He ate it up. He killed it. He murdered it.
I hope you're happy.
Got you a mini me, y'all. We have a full Survivor Australia cast that we are finna get into, and we're finna rate. So get into it now. Y'all can put in the chat your opinions, and we'll potentially take them into consideration. When we get to Christina.
And then I'll also say, because we're finna do everybody real quick. I am not, because Survivor Australia, they're way more like campy and character focused. I'm going based off of that. Some people, it's not the game, it's the cunty face card. Some people, it's not the game, it's the body yaddy. Some people, it's not the game, and it's how much I hate them. So,
and some people, it is the game. Some people, it's the game, and I don't give a fuck about them. Some people, it's Nash, and that's my man. Some people, it's Zen, and that's my man.
That's also my man.
Some people, let me stop. Okay, starting off with Candy.
Who? Chop.
Chop.
We should have added a who category, honestly.
I know. I was just thinking that, because who the fuck are you? Ooh. Next person. Puri.
Girl, I'm sorry. My sister gotta be in camp.
She gotta be in camp.
That purry.
She's nothing but
purry.
That alone. We've been saying purry ever since she said it. The chat, us, Twitter, other podcasts. Bitch, she gotta be camp.
She's in camp because it's that purry.
That purry. She's literally the definition of camp. Sorry.
Quite literally.
Like, what?
Oh my God. Imagine her ass in merge. Good God.
Oh, we needed it. I need it. Next is daddy. We needed a daddy category.
We did. Oh. Now, I'm not finna do much with Zen. I'm gonna keep him in mid. I'm not gonna lie.
He didn't get voted out, so he's not going below mid.
Hey.
He didn't get voted out.
Hey, because daddy would have still been here. He would have been in final 3 with Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Winning immunities. Caitlyn would have had 7 immunity wins.
Amen. Oh, we needed a daddy category because that's exactly where he belongs.
Yeah, Carl. Yeah, definitely. The indie personality is camp. The game is a chop. Like game on this ranking specifically, low. That is a low.
Very little consideration.
We're going based off character over here. Survivor is. I feel like Survivor Australia is like a show.
Australia.
It truly is. Like I don't know. Like with Survivor US, the personalities aren't big enough for me to focus on that with some people. Like I gotta do mainly game here. It's the personalities for sure. Now, some people will get bumped up because of their game, but if you see a trash person high, it's because they're camp. I'm sorry. Kent, chop. Obsessed with Miles, and now he's the winner. Actually, Kent, he's a mother because he knew who Miles was.
He knew who
Miles was. That's why he was obsessed with him. He wanted to fuck him.
He was camp for that. You know what's crazy? I'm going to quickly realize that Candy don't deserve to be in chop with all these men that's going to be down here. But it's okay, girl. I don't know you.
Next is child. Should we do child for the Courtney H lookalike?
For the Courtney H, I feel like by the end of it, we definitely are going to. Oh, I'm going to want to. So let's just do that. Let's just do that. Nash. Ooh, camp. If you ask me, this is my man.
Nash can go into camp.
This is my man.
Nash would have been really, really fun if he made it to at least Tribe Swap. I'm really disappointed that he went home so early. But the game is definitely camp.
Oh my God, there's so much camp. Guess who next? Allie.
If Allie made it a little bit further, she could have been in another category. She could have. I miss Allie. Oh my God. They said Allie mother, not mother.
She could have been mother. I think we needed more time. We needed more time with her. Oh my God. Her walking up to AJ and telling him at every turn that he ain't shit. Oh my God. That was a time. I missed that time of the game when Allie was sunning AJ.
At the camp category.
It's very camp.
It is.
All these pre-jurors.
It is.
Next we have Rich.
Chop.
Yep. Ursula.
I low-key want to say camp.
I want to say camp, but I think she's talking about. I want to say camp.
It's so campy a little bit to me, but I'm gonna go with mid. I think mid too. I think Big Urs.
Big Ursula. That's my girl. She camp in my heart, but mid in reality. Sorry, girl. Max Chop. I hate him more than Kent. Actually, yeah, he at the bottom. I fucking hate him. Loser. Noonan.
I'm not gonna say camp because I don't like her that much, but definitely mid. Or okay, is Noonan someone who could be camp because of her gameplay?
Nope. Mid under Ursula. You're under Ursula.
Under Ursula? She can just go above Ursula.
She was coming for my girl who lasted longer. Oh damn,
Noonan.
Damn. I don't like her. I'll give her top of the mid. You're right. The fuck. Next we have
a chop.
Next we have Jesse.
A chop.
Also a chop.
Damn.
I think Rich is my favorite chop.
I don't. I think Jesse can be thick. But Jesse was close with Ben, so he can go down with his
friend.
That's
what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't
put him down there with his friend. Put him down there with his friend.
Yes, and PD, you can go down there with your
weirdos stick together.
And PD, you can go down there with your friends easily. Next, Laura.
Camp. I'm sorry. I know the girls
camp. Head coventress. Head coven.
Top of camp for now. I'm sorry. I loved her by merge. I did. I was really sad to see her go home when she went.
This is my sister. I miss her. I love the way her face glows in that jury. I just love that. God, that's how you know she got a pure soul. What she say? The energies. She got a yellow.
As soon as she
bright.
stepped on the screen and talk about them damn energies, I was like, this girl is going home early. But she's truly, I like her. I would love to see her return. Honestly, a lot of the brain, all the brain that made everyone who made Merge, I would like to see play again.
Yeah,
actually.
I agree. Paulie, I don't need to see him play again.
Paulie, the thing is, Paulie, I'm not a fan of Paulie, so I would put him in child. But what's your thoughts?
Same.
Okay.
I actually don't like him, especially after he spoke to Chris Diva. The one time she was a diva. That's the thing. There were so many times Kristen was not a diva that he could have came for her. He waited until she became a diva and then came for her. Why would you do that?
Don't play in her face. It's actually insane. I think there was a time Paulie really could have did it if like he went on like some nasty immunity run or something. But like he's not even rootable for in the minority. He's a terrible person. Like he's not rootable. He just isn't. And it's crazy.
His energy negative. I don't like it. It's a no for me. Karen,
mother,
you know where she go.
That's my mama. That's my mama.
I'm sorry. Definitely coming back. Logan. This is a mother too.
The face card alone puts her in mother.
The face card alone. That alone, honey, it eats.
Oh, Isabel, don't worry. Did you think that was gonna happen? If y'all put another card below, no.
It was easy, honey.
No, that wasn't even a decision.
Theodore, step to the front.
She don't deserve camp. I'm sorry.
She doesn't. Does she even deserve?
I say put her behind Noonan, but for the chat, you can put her top of mid.
Absolutely.
They saying mother Black Widow Brigade, please.
Girl, it's going below.
Chris Diva is a memorable name on TRK. Okay, is that a fair point?
Forced.
Okay, Chanel said mid. Leo said mid. I don't know. RT or the girls said mid.
The girls are saying mid. Child for me.
Christina
child at most.
Child. Just going in mid, just like her game.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's stupid. Carlin say, huh? Because no, they tried. They was on your side, Theodore. Hold on. Because they know they being real. They being real. They are being real.
We're not even being real. Truthfully, she's a little too high, if you ask me. Next we have Morgan. Baby. And Morgan. I know it's not your fault, baby. I know it's not your fault.
She just wasn't in the edit.
But it's like you can't go no more higher than this.
I feel bad.
Should we just do mid?
Maybe in the mid, because we got to give it the benefit of the doubt.
In the mid, but what's mid about it?
What was mid is that she wasn't in the edit.
The body was mid. I could do in the mid for her.
The body was mid. The body was mother.
The body was T. The body was mother.
The body was T. But I feel bad because Kate, we're gonna get to Kate, but Kate's gonna be higher, and I feel like Morgan would be if we saw her more in the edit.
Yeah, Kate is here.
I would say Kate is camp.
Does she touch camp? She touches camp.
I think she's camp. I'll
give her that. I'll give her that. But now I feel like I can't put her under all of these flops. Let me put her. I like Nash. Hold on.
I put her under Laura.
I'll put her under Laura because she made it so far. Okay, she's cunty.
No, honestly, we do. We do. We need a Kaya category. We do.
Oh,
we can replace maybe Chow. Can we replace with Kaya?
Oh, we do.
Chow does Kaya.
I feel like Chop might need to give Kaya, but
I see that.
Maybe we need a 6th category.
The Kaya Asylum.
Maybe we need the Kaya Asylum. Maybe we needed a 6th category.
I always feel like 5 is a good amount because
5 is good.
Like I don't know.
5 is good. Let me not play. Zara. That would have been the Kaya Academy.
Girl, stop. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Put her down there with him. Put the fucking Saha on. Put her down there right now.
Can we do Child?
Why?
For the pre-merge.
No.
For the coven.
Chop.
Damn. It was real bad. You're right.
If you want to fight, you can fight. Because some of the girls are saying, look.
I don't.
Zara
Chad. What do y'all think?
Zara Child. Chop is too low.
I think for the pre-merge, I think
Lua said she deserved camp, actually. Child, Lua Child. I don't know.
They saying Chop is correct. They're saying top. This is how I feel. This is my thought. This is my one thought. I do think overall, it's child. I think this in game heavy chop, but I think the beginning game was heavy camp. She was camp at the beginning, stealing Laura's idol. She didn't steal her idol.
It seemed like that would average out to a mid.
That do sound like a mid.
And I would be fine if she's top of mid.
Because like I feel like
I don't think she deserves camp. Her mother is like A+.
She's not up there, but a part of me is like, you're not under Polly. Did you do some stupid shit? Yes, and I think we need to punish her for that. Mid.
I don't like that word.
Mid. Reprimand. We need to reprimand her for that. But then again, why are you under Morgan?
I would say top of mid. If we're putting
top
her
of mid,
I would say
I could
top
do that.
Of mid.
I could do that. Because for the pre-final game alone, you did something, girl.
Because to me, beginning of the game, mother. Towards the middle, it got to camp and mid. At the end, it's a complete chop.
Yes,
so
she like
I
literally
think that averages out to mid.
Yeah, right at the top. Okay, I'll give you that. She literally had she felt every spectrum of this list. She was the one person who you were everywhere, queen. I die.
Brawn in mid.
Oh, we at the final 3.
AJ's mother. I hate him.
AJ is mother.
I hate him. I don't like him. But I'm not delusional. I'm not a hater. You got to put him at the top. You have to put him at the top. For now, because he's not staying there. I can't be a hater. You have to give 10s where 10s are due. I just wish he was a little bit more humble.
You're right.
But I don't know, child.
Right. He's unfortunately mother. Unfortunately. Kaylin.
Kaylin is my mother or father, or some would say.
I'm not
gonna lie. I would put Kaylin in child, but is that too low?
Me too.
I
would put him in child as well. I would put him in child as well.
Chat. Kaylin, child, how we feeling? Or should he at least be mid?
Oh, they're saying mid at least.
Top of mid?
Mid above who? No.
I think top of mid would be fair.
It would be fair, but we're not being fair. Mid below Noonan. For sure.
No.
Let me stop.
Okay.
We could do top. But like, what is he mid for?
Being my man.
Okay. That's enough. I'll give him that. He is my man. Okay, and then we got daddy.
Hey,
mother. Immediately. We know exactly where he's going. Okay. Everybody look at it.
Nash being the highest Brawn. Ain't he the first one out? No. Candy was the first one out. But still, he was an early out.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Okay, and Nash. Sorry, yeah. Girl, Kate was all up on the AJ. I thought she was a brain.
If y'all have any, no, for real. If y'all have any strong opinions of what we need to change, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Girl, they speaking about Chris Diva. Chris Diva is not good. Chris Diva can go above Noonan. Y'all want Chris Diva above Noonan?
I don't want to do it. You can't put Kristen in 13th. What is she in 14th right now? What? That Brawn tribe was going. Okay, I don't see any complaint.
I feel like Paulie and Candy be the only ones the child seem weird, but I'm looking at the other people. I'm like, nah.
Personally, Morgan can go down. But I'm gonna just shut up.
I'm gonna leave my sister alone. I'm gonna leave my sister alone.
I'm gonna leave her alone.
Chris Diva definitely above Noonan. Okay, we could do Chris Diva above Noonan.
I guess I'll take that because I don't like either of them. Switch AJ and Ajax. Who? Y'all playing? Put AJ below Karn and Logan, please. I wanted to.
AJ,
the lack of
Logan.
Color.
Oh, yeah. Somebody go get this list and just say we hate men real bad. But these men,
they were literally problematic.
You see all the good men in Camp and Mother.
Yeah, we got 2 men at the top. They better take that.
Girl, they go see 6 men at the bottom and say we hate men, girl. And
they got selective vision. They do. Who was calling me from Dallas, Texas? All right, y'all. Boom, that's it. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being with us for this beautiful, beautiful season. Oh, someone did
our first ever.
It's like a baby. Someone asked, name the people you want on another one. I know you said all the brain. You said all the brain. Let's say I would say all the brain. Pick 3 to come back for the next All Stars.
I'm gonna do 3 that's not Miles or AJ.
Boom.
Because Miles and AJ are automatically on the list. But other than Miles and AJ, I would say Karen.
Well,
Karen, Logan.
okay.
I don't care to see most of the other ones. If I have to pick 3, Karen, Logan. Shit, Laura. Literally. Yeah, Karen, Logan, and Laura.
What about second place? You don't think second place would deserve a shot again? Another shot? Hello?
Like in general, I want to see the brain, but the brain who made merge. But other than that, if I have to pick 3 specific ones, like literally, just give me Miles, AJ, Karen, Logan, and Laura, and I'll be fine. If we want entertainment, throw in Indy. Let's see that again. Nash,
throwing Nash.
Allie. I think Noonan would be fun to see her get a second playthrough because I think she kind of got screwed by being with dumb people. Don't need Zara. Yeah, that's it.
Anybody on the bottom
Kate,
row?
But I don't think Kate would give much in the second season.
Anybody on the bottom row?
You don't even believe that.
Maybe. Well, yeah, y'all, just the top row for me. Miles, AJ, Karen, and Logan for sure. Laura can definitely come. Everybody else can stay. I would like Nash. And I don't know how Camp Australia gets. Do they get pre-juror? They do because Phoebe came back. But do they get like flop pre-jurors like Nash ever?
I feel like the way they care about personality, they would.
Yeah, so Nash would be a good one
for real. Like Nash is a huge character. I feel like Allie was crazy and delusional. Indy with that purry.
I would take anybody in Camp or Mother for sure. Boom. But we'll be back for Australian Survivor versus the world.
Instead, we're doing a draft for her. I initially feel like no, only because I don't know the other international girlies and I don't know all the Australian girlies yet. So I would say no on that. If something changes, we're going to let y'all know. But as of now, no. However, we are going to be drafting for the next season of Survivor Australia. This is going to be a mainstay. Okay. Hopefully we can get into getting some interviews or something like that. We need to figure out like who do casting or something because I want to talk to these people because I have some questions.
Nice. Yeah, that would be really nice. So yes, Pharaoh, don't pick Sari. Girl, she's losing on her own. Oh!
Take it back right now.
What the fuck?
That came.
That was the devil. I don't know what that was. Or maybe it was the truth. Because I think looking at
oh, but wait, record, no, we can't end the podcast like this. We cannot end the podcast.
I'm rooting for her. But that 4th, 5th, 6th place is like haunting her for the rest of her life. I swear. Now, I don't know what that was. Don't you dare clip this. Out of all the shit I be telling y'all to clip about all the men I be trying to get with, don't you dare clip this. Anyways, Sari motherfucking Fields is winning Survivor Australia versus the world. Period. It's nothing. I feel like you can tell I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
This is giving no scalp apology, bitch.
I gotta be serious. Sari Fields is winning Survivor Australia versus. It's nothing. It's nothing. Easily.
Actually, Kirby will, but we move.
Actually, Shawnee.
The final 2 gonna be Parvati and Shawnee.
The final 2 is gonna be Sari and Fields.
Period.
Anyways, get into the other shit we doing other. Oh shit! Everything is gonna end, y'all. This was the last episode. Y'all better start getting. Look, even though Survivor 48 might go downhill, very likely, get into that with us anyways, because y'all not doing shit else. Get into Survivor 48 with us. Get into the Borneo Rewind with us tomorrow. Of course, the Challenge Rivals finale is tomorrow. I know nobody cares. I didn't move. Get into the Amazing Race. We still got a lot more for that. And then the Drag Race finale is coming up soon too. So if you into that, get into that or whatever. We have, oh my God, 4 more days to get your votes in. That flew, honey. Get your last couple of votes in for Flavor of Love because we will be covering
We
it.
did that in January.
Yes, time flies when you're playing games. That sounded scary.
You Jigsaw, bitch?
Dude, no, you know where that's from?
Mm-mm.
It's from the third Spy Kids, I believe.
Oh,
or
I love that one.
Or it's from Dream.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
It's one of those. I can't remember.
They should make a Gen Z version, a Gen Z boot of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
I would love that.
They're gonna make Lava Girl biracial.
She's biracial.
I
always thought Taylor Lautner was biracial, but he's just white.
He's just white with a tan.
A dark. That's not even a tan. That's olive skin. It's natural olive skin. That's how you know he's not really.
Is that
white.
even olive, girl? That look brown.
Brown, yeah.
Brown skin girl.
Hey, what is it like? Anyways, what else we got going on? Shit. Oh, get into the Scripted Kingdom or whatever. I got shit going on over there. Get over there. Oh, I did my Black Mirror reaction. I reacted to the first episode of Black Mirror. It was good, y'all. Get into that. Watch Black Mirror, and then watch me react to Black Mirror or whatever. That amateur movie I was talking about. It was boring as fuck. It was boring as fuck, y'all. Don't even get into it. No shade.
What?
Sinners is coming out next week, though. I needed to update this.
Excited.
Yes. Michael B. Jordan has a new movie coming out. It's a very Black, urban.
It's next week?
It's literally, it's this week.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
My God, tomorrow. Tomorrow, Michael B. Jordan's movie is coming out. It's directed by Ryan Coogler, which is the director of Black Panther. So if you were into Black Panther, if you're into Black people, watch that movie and then watch my review of that movie tomorrow. It's called Sinners. Get into it. Period.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah. Black Brigade says you gotta watch 2017, 2019 Hero vs. Villains and Titans vs. Rebels are the must. Now I already did Titan vs. Rebels, so I know Kirby. I'm gonna go to Hero vs. Villains. Next time I watch, I'm going to Hero vs. Villains. I'm gonna do backwards because I heard them early seasons is kind of giving snore as far as what Pharaoh's saying. So yeah. Okay. Oh, and Brawn versus Brawn for George. Is that his first season? Isn't he also on Hero vs. Villains? Because I'm trying to see what I can realistically get in before it comes out.
He's also on Heroes vs. Villains. So you could watch Heroes vs. Villains and get him.
Okay. I'm trying to because I'm still doing my Drag Race bin, so I'm gonna have to work that in with it. So I'm trying to do what I can watch. So I'm definitely gonna do Heroes vs. Villains, and then I'll probably do Heroes vs. Villains and Brawn versus Brawn, and then Pharaoh already know about Luke and Sarah, so I don't have to watch that necessarily. But then I'll get into 2019.
Love them. They're so cunty though. Well, Luke is weird and racist, but Sarah's very cunty.
What's Shawnee first season?
Shawnee. Chance vs. Stars 2, 2019. That's Shawnee.
Damn, it's so many because I do kind of want to watch their original version.
She's also on Heroes vs. Villains, but I'm gonna watch. Maybe I should watch.
Maybe I should watch Chance of Contenders, Brawn vs. Brawn, and then Hero vs. Villains. I don't know. I like you should watch the original season.
Okay, me too. So I ain't even gonna tell you what to do because I'm gonna watch 2019. I don't want to skip George's original season, but I feel like I need to in order to make sure I get all the information. Because there's 3. I think there's 2 people from 2019 on there, so that's why I need to watch that. That Janine girl and Shawnee, and then on Heroes vs. Villains, it's Shawnee and George. So I'm like, okay, I can get multiple. But if I want to go back and watch George's original, I'll do that. And then who's on Titans vs. Rebels? Kirby,
my diva.
I'm a diva. All right, we're gonna get into it, y'all. Come back in July, June, whenever it comes out. We'll be back. So be there. Okay. Thank you for getting rid of the kingdom, honey. We out.